Canada, Drew Ebanks, and the coach of the year. Yes, he's more fluent. The coach of the year, who named the coach of the year, Drew Ebanks, of course, Anthony K here. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to each and every one of you. First of all, Christmas Day game here. Christmas Day game, a couple days away. Which game? I'll start with Anthony. Which game are you looking forward to the most? Because Anthony, I know we have a little bit of heat now. Drew doesn't know this, but the Buffalo Bills are taking on Anthony's team, the Chicago Bears, and Buffalo Bills are favored by 75 points, and he's still taking the Buffalo Bills. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, I think they cover that one. What game? I think it's a clear choice, right? It's the best two teams in the East. The one that I think is going to be the winner of the NBA final this year. It's the Celtics and the Bucks. I think it's these two teams. These are the best two teams I see, been the most consistent, the most talented once the Bucks get healthy. That's the game I'm going to watch. There are some other games that I was hopeful for when the schedule came out. Not as excited for anymore.
All right, and Drew, what do you say?
Obviously, same choice, Bucks Celtics. I mean, I'm not a huge Celtics fan, to be honest with you, being a Toronto Raptors guy. But you have to love what they're doing. You have to love Jason Tatum. I mean, pretty much to me, the front runner for the MVP. And then you have Giannis and the rest of the crew with Milwaukee quietly doing what they do. Nobody really paying attention to them. And they're going to most likely make it to the Eastern Finals. Obviously, with some injuries, some of the other games not too good. I think my next, more favorite game on Christmas would be that late game, the Nuggets Suns. I think that could be very interesting. Good to see Jamal Murray back, obviously playing. The Nuggets doing their thing. Joker still in that MVP hunt, which is crazy, the numbers he's putting up. And the Suns really, I mean, it's time to put up, man. Like, this is the year. If they don't get through this year and get to the NBA Finals, you got to blow that up. Yeah, it's going to be, unfortunately, on Chris Paul. Again, he was at the Clippers, had a chance with those teams to do damage and go far and flopped out. And I see the same thing happening. Despite being one of my favorite players, he just hasn't gotten it done. So they're going to need to get it done. The other games, I wish they could switch it up. I mean, the Warriors, I don't know. At this point, after that last game, I don't know if they even belong in the league right now. Can you relegate them to the G League for a week and let them play some competition? Because that was absolutely embarrassing for the NBA. And Lakers, I think Lakers match is interesting. LeBron gets up. He doesn't need anything to get up for Christmas Day game. And then, of course, Luka just taking over. And as predicted, he's probably going to be NBA MVP at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe even sooner. I think by next year he should be the man. But some of the matchups a little tainted with injury. But I know once we're done our turkey and we're done our jerk chicken and our curry goat and our ham and everything else.
I hear Joe is a big oxtail guy on Christmas.
Oxtail too, brother. We got our oxtail
Ackee and saltfish. Come on, Ackee and saltfish, man.
No, we don't need Ackee and saltfish.
No, don't do that for Christmas.
For Thanksgiving.
Don't do that for Christmas.
No, that's a breakfast thing. But I'll be posting the photo of the spread, guys. So don't you worry. You'll be able to see exactly. And then once I've eaten my meal, I will be like this on the couch.
All right, enough. Dude. Nobody cares of what you're eating here. So, Anthony, but that brings up a good point. Christmas Day, notorious for NBA action. This year, we got NFL action, all that.
Boo! That's our day. Boo! NFL,
I knew he's going to say that.
Unless my Eagles are playing. Boo! Boo! Unless my Eagles are playing. Boo.
Yeah, his Eagles. Okay, enough. Anthony, what's your Christmas tradition? Of course, you have a family there. Do you have like an annual Christmas tradition with NBA?
With NBA, absolutely. It's wake up way too early because the kids are jumping on your bed to say, "Hey, Santa came." Open up presents. It's pajama day. We tell everybody we're not coming to your house. Don't expect to see us. You want to come by and stop for a visit? Cool. Expect to see us in our pajamas. You're not getting anything. No coffees, no waters. I'm not serving you. It's Christmas, and then it's basketball. And in between halftime every quarter, there'll be some kind of food coming from somewhere. We've already got about 8,000 Christmas cookies for my mother-in-law, the Kurabiedes and Kuluria. We got all the Greek cookies. So we'll gain about 15, 25 pounds that day.
All right,
Sounds like
and I
us.
gotta ask Anthony, because Drew has texted me. He wants to know what to get you for Christmas. So, Anthony, what do you want for Christmas, Anthony? From Drew, he wants to know. Of
Well,
course, he's the coach of the year, under 10,
Yes.
coach of the
I mean, I
year.
could probably use a whistle because I'm losing my voice yelling at those kids all day. Can we get a new Lakers squad? Can we get like 4 or 5 trades and just completely redo that roster? Because as much as you hate the Celtics, I'm a Laker fan, so I hate them. I've hated them longer. And my Lakers look
doubt.
horrible. I need to take this moment. I need to take this moment because everybody called me crazy 2 weeks ago or a week ago when Anthony Davis was on his incredible run and playing the best basketball we've seen him play maybe in his career. And I said, trade him. And they said, are you crazy? I said, trade him. Why would you trade him? I said, because next week, and I didn't mean to put any bad juju on him, but it's Anthony Davis. I said he's gonna be hurt next week. And then everyone's gonna be saying, oh, you should have traded him. Well, I told you, should have traded him right in the middle of that streak. Could have got a beautiful haul, draft picks, young players, maybe a star in there, and we could have started the rebuild because the Lakers aren't going anywhere. All they're doing is waiting for LeBron to pass Kareem. That's it. That's all they're playing for. It's sad. It's sad.
All right, Drew, the same question. I want to know what you want for Christmas because Anthony's not going to get you it. Marty Roberts has promised he will get you something for Christmas. So, what do you want for Christmas?
Man, I'm just a simple guy, man. Family, that's what I love. I mean, we get together. We unlike you, Anthony, we actually leave and go to my uncle's house. We head up to Maple every Christmas Eve. Sorry, not Christmas Eve, Christmas Day in the evening. And yeah, we're watching ball at home in PJs just like you. But then we got to put on some duds and head out up to Maple for the big family, usually between 20 and 30 people, maybe sometimes even 40, just depends. But we love it, man. We get together on every family occasion. So especially on Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all those. But again, a great day. And after the day, I'm like, man, I'm really sick of basketball. By the time you get to that 10:30 game, I'm like, I've had enough of hoops. But we sit there, we're in front of the TV, the kids are in the other room, they're doing their thing, they're downstairs in the basement running around. And like I said, health and strength for everybody, and prosperity. I think Joe, you've got some great news that you're probably going to share soon with people. And we know how long you've been trying to get over the hump and get things moving and being able to see some rewards for the hard work. And I pray every day, Fired Up gets that opportunity, because I think the amazing talent you see right in front of me right here with you guys and the rest of the crew, and breaking news and real behind the scenes info from everybody and a dedicated crew. I wish that Fired Up is that independent network that breaks through to the mainstream in 2023. And that's all I could hope for. And of course, On Point as well. I hope we can do it. And Fluent, you keep doing it, man. You keep getting on ESPN and doing your thing, man. The world needs to see that face a little more, Anthony. Let's do it, brother.
Some people don't want to see that face, all right? Don't want to see that face.
They told me I had a face for
Don't
radio.
hate.
I don't know what that means.
Don't hate on the guy, Joski. You got the haircut going. I see you doing your thing.
Here's the whole thing. He alluded to this. Okay, as you know, I'm the president of provinces of Canada, and here is Captain Canada, Drew Ebanks, the coach of the year, the Fluent, Anthony Kay, and now I'm in the running for the mayor of North America. He actually, I wasn't going to let it the Canada, but the mayor of North America. But yeah, more details regarding something special coming to the Fired Up Network very, very soon. Maybe at the end of tonight's show. But we are supposed to have also, Drew, we're supposed to have a very, very special guest joining us in about 5 minutes. So we're gonna continue on here. Drew, let me ask you this: Christmas Day, the NBA. What and Ahmad Rashad? We all grew up with Ahmad Rashad there and everything like that. And unfortunately, I'm going to tie it in with a little bit NFL also with Anthony. Christmas night or Christmas Eve night. We're having the 50th annual Pittsburgh Oakland Raiders or Vegas Raiders, but unfortunately, Franco Harris passing away just days before they're going to honor his jersey, honor him, honor the team, and everything like that. But going back to Drew, and then I'll go to Anthony. Give me Christmas Day has been a staple for, I don't know, 20 years now in the NBA. But before the NBA, like I say this almost all the time here, you were Norm Rumack and, Andy or Leo Routins and myself were here talking. We're one of the only people in Canada on a mainstream on the Fab 590, and you were on Global, Drew, talking about the NBA before Christmas was anything with NBA here. Talk about your favorite memories, like growing up and now where it is right now, even though this year maybe it should have had a little bit better grouping of games there.
Wow. I mean, Anthony talked about the Lakers, man. I mean, that to me, like, that's everything for me. That, like, changed my life. I mean, just watching Showtime, just watching Magic and Cooper. I mean, I love Michael Cooper. Watching Big Game James, that reverse pivot move on the baseline. Byron Scott, the Lakers girls, cheerleaders, and the celebrities, Jack Nicholson and Penny Marshall, and you go down the line and everybody just being there, and that bright yellow, taking on teams like the Celtics. I mean, the NBA is come from the depths of where games were taped, recorded. No one cared. They had drug problems. Of course, America had drug problems as well, but it was reflected more because the dominant group in the league were African Americans. So that was exacerbated them in those times. And then the Dr. J and the merger coming in from the ABA and seeing what he could do. And then going into, the Pistons era, which you hated. And it's crazy to see Isaiah won't stop right now. He continues to be on his let me change Michael Jordan's attitude towards me tour. It's not happening, Zeke. He's not bending.
Let it go.
Hey, let it go, brother. And then you go into the MJ era. And, there's people that say, well, LeBron is the GOAT. Now, not Jordan. I'm sorry. You call me old school, whatever. But what I went through, and I've been through the LeBron era, and I've been through all those eras, and I've been through the Magic era. What Jordan brought was a feeling. It was a phenomenon. That's the word I'm looking for. Michael Jordan was a phenomenon that you had to see it. We didn't get a lot of basketball up here in Canada. We didn't get a lot of games all the time. We had to run home and watch sport, Global Sports Line back then. And I ended up working with Jim and Don later on.
Yes, guy.
Yes, guy. My guy. Yes. So, man, we had some great memories, man, me walking on set. But no, just to say that what the NBA has done as far as marketing the league, branding, you even talk about social media. The league dwarfs the NFL and all the other leagues combined in terms of the interactions on social media. And look at the TV deals, not too far behind the NFL, a little league like the NBA. It's more accessible. They're more cooler. I think the athletes in the NBA, you look at the league fits and, photos of the guys walking to the games and the kicks they wear. And, it's just they've turned it around. I mean, shout out to David Stern, what he did to turn the league into a money-making machine. And then Adam Silver has continued it. And then the next generation, the next iteration of the NBA will be now the LeBron Jameses owning franchises, maybe even a Snoop Dogg owning franchises, things like that. So that's going to continue that growth. And we're only seeing a fraction of what even the NFL, what these leagues can do as far as the internet.
What Drew didn't talk about.
I wanted to jump because there's two things. Yeah. Drew, you hit a bunch of solid points. I would say two things. One, when you brought up the Michael Jordan era, it was about that globalization, right? If you look, I'm not comparing NBA and NFL, but since we are a little bit, the NFL is huge in America.
Right.
The NBA is huge globally. And that started, I think, in that late 80s, 90s, that it was the Jordan, the Bulls, the dream team that kind of just exploded it globally. And part of that explosion was into Canada. And let's not forget Vince Carter. What Vince Carter did for basketball in Toronto, in Canada, it made it. There's a great piece, the Carter Effect. I think LeBron and I think Jay-Z, some guys partnered up and did the Carter Effect, which really, I think, did a great job of encapsulating what it meant. as a guy who was watching basketball in the 80s and had a hard time finding a place to just go shoot around, what I saw during those 2000s with Vince Carter, now there's basketball hoops popping up everywhere. Every kid now is playing basketball. There's traditionally hockey kids who are like, oh, I want to play basketball. It was something new, and we're seeing it now in the draft with how many Canadians in the draft, how many great players there are in the NBA, and that number continues to rise. If you think about it, a population equal to that of California, and we've already put that many players in. It's been phenomenal to see as someone who's been watching since, I tell everybody my first year watching basketball was, which is why I was a Laker fan, Magic's rookie season in the NBA when they won a chip, right? And he was my favorite player. To see that growth from tape delay, like you said, watching as many highlights as I could. There's no YouTube. I can go watch a game. So to see that to where it's come today, it's incredible, phenomenal.
They don't know what we had to do to watch the game.
I'd run to my friend's house who somehow got it because there was a 2 a.m. game and they taped it on VHS, and we'd watch and have to tape over to the next game to watch. Like, we struggled, man. We struggled. So it's great to see where it is.
Globalization. You talk about there's games next year in Paris, right? They've been to China and all that.
UK,
and
England,
Mexico. Drew is the oldest of them all, Anthony, here, okay? But me and you are around the same age. Drew is a little bit older, maybe 20 years older. But Drew did not mention, and I know, Anthony, you got kids and all that, but NBA 2K. It's the newest thing.
Sure. Yeah.
2K, everybody goes out there, and I think it's the number one selling after FIFA. Number one selling. Everybody plays and it's the most realistic thing in the world. What people want to say, and you're coaching, like I say, Drew is Captain Canada. He's in there with, grade 2, grade 3, 15, 20-year-olds and all that. And Anthony, I mentioned you at the coach of the year, coaching under 10. Think about that. 10, 5, 10, 20 years ago, do you even think you would ever coach basketball? 10-year-olds. Forget about, 10-year-olds.
Yeah, organized basketball. When I was 10 years old, guys, I was running away from girls or playing tag.
You were kicking the jams.
I was kicking the jams. And now you got organized ball. I wanted to also shout out the Grizzlies that I just recently got invited to the Grizzly Truth. Shout out Kat Jamie. Incredible film on the emotions of Vancouver. I can't even imagine having the Toronto Raptors not in Toronto, what that would do for the collective psyche of Torontonians and Canadians who love the Raptors. It's such a sad story. It was great to see Steve Francis there, though. Had a chance to meet him. Jimmy King was also in the building. Just Steve kind of going over his reasons for not wanting to come to Canada. And it was tough. It was tough but he came and he took his shots, but just to say Vancouver, great fan base. And I hope one day they get their team back for sure, man. And
they talk about expansion. And I don't think any city should get a team until Vancouver and Seattle.
Yeah, those two. Exactly. Yeah.
Those two need to have
and that's a rivalry nowadays. That will be a good rivalry, Vancouver and Seattle. And let's hope. NBA is talking about expansion and everything, and they're talking about Vegas and WNBA to Toronto also. What about WNBA putting a team in Vancouver? You want to grow the game again? Show that you can support it in Vancouver, WNBA, and leads to the NBA. And speak about somebody who played in that era for this is Tracy Murray. Yes, look, he's wearing Wheel One.
And he's got his hand up. He's ready. He's ready to go jump in.
Tracy, we were just talking about the effect that Vince Carter had on Canada and all that. You're the long-range bomber. You were double time, came here to Toronto. When you first came to Toronto and you heard about the cold, you didn't see what a great-looking man Joe is anyways. But you hear about the cold and everything like that. Give me your thoughts from California coming up to Toronto.
Is he muted? I think he's muted.
Muted.
You're
unmute.
Unmute yourself, Trace.
Acknowledge me.
Okay, I'll acknowledge him. This is the long-range bomber, my good, close personal friend. I taught him how to shoot a basketball. Tracy Murray. Go ahead.
Still no
Unfortunately,
audio.
uh, you're muted. We're having a little bit sound audio problems, Trace. Hopefully, it's all because of Drew. You know, every time he comes in, he wants to hog the microphone and all
Am I,
that. But
what about
Trace,
Can you unmute
now?
him? Nope.
yeah, we can hear
What
you
about
now.
now?
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just your
Can you
video's
hear me?
lagging though.
Toronto,
We can't hear you.
acknowledge
I'm
No,
acknowledging
there's
you. All
just a
right.
delay.
Enough of
There's a delay.
There's a short delay here. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
it is
Trace. Go ahead.
delay.
Go ahead. Tell me about what it was like to play for the
Do you want me
Raptors
to
during the
jump
early
out and come
years.
back in because it is delayed?
Yeah, you probably should. Yeah, something's off right now.
Yeah,
Come
come
back
back
in.
in. Yeah. So he'll come back in a couple seconds. We'll be joined, and how apropos was what we're talking about when we have a Raptor who came in when the Raptors were expansion, and now he came in twice, and he was a great shooter. I taught him everything he knows there. He's back now. Hopefully, we can hear him. Trace, can we hear you? It's still
I
not great here.
can hear you, but you're kind of in and out.
All right, Drew, you want to take Drew and
Can you
Anthony? I'll
guys hear
shut
me?
up. Go ahead. You take it.
No.
Okay. So
It's weird that it's delayed
Try
like that.
something else.
Maybe try your phone, coming in on your phone.
Yeah, and I can barely hear you guys. Are choppy.
Yeah, well, you don't want to hear Drew, so come on your phone and all that. Again, that's Tracy Murray with Anthony K here and Drew E. Banks here, a special NBA Live as we talk about Christmas Day and everything like that.
Tracy was one of my high school influences. We took a trip to Los Angeles to play a tournament, and we got to see the UCLA Bruins, and that was Tracy Murray, Ed O'Bannon, Tyus Edney. It was that team, and watched them, and we're like, oh, because I hated playing inside, and at my size in my freshman year in high school, they're like playing. I'm like, nah. And I say these dudes shoot. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And that was one of the first times I was like, oh, you can do this. All right, I'm stepping out. So
I hope you heard that, Trace. He was complimenting you.
Step out and let it fly, baby. Let it fly.
All right, Trace. Let me ask you a question. When you
Step
came first
out,
time,
let it fly.
when you came first time to Toronto, what were your thoughts coming over from California to Toronto in the cold and everything like that?
In '91, when I was up there for a friendly game, for the Pan American games against Team Canada. So I already knew how clean the city was, opportunity. So I took the first plane smoking up there, and the weather didn't bother me. We played an inside sport, so it didn't bother me.
Okay, since we're having a little bit of technicals, I'll give one question to Drew, one question to Anthony, and then we'll wrap it up. So go ahead, Drew. You'll get the question first.
Oh, question, Tracy. I mean, yeah, we've had great pleasure having Tracy on the show several times. Talking as well about hoops and very invaluable. What is your thought right now? I want to get your take on the Lakers. Obviously, you weren't on the show before, but Anthony talked about Lakers being his favorite team. I talked about it was Showtime Lakers that actually drew me into basketball. And so, what is the sentiment there in LA? And how can they turn this situation around?
Magic pushing the ball down the middle. Byron Scott down one lane, Worthy running the other. The cap was leading us. Michael Cooper was 6 and Kobe. Then just another good run with Kobe. But the champions, they always have an asterisk, Antonio's, because of the shortened season. As I say, again, championship is a championship. It's hard to win. But at the end of the day, I don't extreme young. It's got to be a balance. It's got to be a balance of superstar leaders. You got to have two go-to guys. They have to play defense, and they got to be a star in the role. They got to be the best sixth man they can be, best seventh man they can be. They can't want to be the stars. That's our relationship, because you know what you bring to the table consistently every night.
All right, Anthony, go ahead. Your question, and we'll close it out.
I'm going to take my question in a completely different direction. Completely different direction with my question. So a really good friend of mine who I played high school with is now down at your alma mater, UCLA. He's the strength and conditioning coach for the UCLA Bruins for the girls basketball team. I know you coached. I know you did some work with, I think, the Shock in the WNBA. Tell me about the growth of the women's game that you've seen, because there was nobody. Like I say, growing up in Canada, there was none of us dudes play. There's definitely no women playing. Talk to me about like that growth and what you've seen, and maybe what the future holds for women's basketball.
When she was trying to make Team USA again for the last time, and I remember Lisa Leslie and Tina Thompson coming in. That's how many women are playing basketball now. You got to credit those great Stanford, Tennessee, and UConn teams. They've had stars because now they have something to shoot for. And, you know, they make most of their money overseas. They make really good money. It also helps that, you know, Kobe shed light on the situation before he passed, and how he was going to try to help grow the game. Daughters, they're out there and they're more involved in the girls' circuit. Yeah. I'm involved in the girls' circuit, helping my niece and my daughter. Those daughters that are in the circuit, just trying to figure it out and take it to the next level, and out there, you know, killing, knowing how to play. And I always thought the women's game was more fundamentally sound than the men's game.
Yep.
But
all right,
now they're starting to have some. So, I mean, I really enjoy the women's game and the growth of it.
All right, I know.
Let's get out and watch the WNBA and get them ladies paid. It's fundamentally, Joe. I don't know how much you've seen, Joe. It's like it is okay. They're not the high flyers, but the fundamentals. Like, if I'm teaching if I'm teaching my youth team how to play, I'm showing them WNBA highlights. Be like, here, look at the back screen, look at the cut, look at the passing. Like, that's where you get that stuff from. It's we don't watch it enough. Buy the merch, right? Get them.
All right, I know. Drew, I know, Drew and Trace. Next week, you're invited on because I know Anthony wants to talk wrestling, but Drew Ebanks does nothing want to talk about wrestling. But next week, yes, acknowledge him, Drew. Acknowledge him. He is the tribal chief. The tribal chief. All right, acknowledge him, Drew. Drew, tell everybody how they could get a hold of you. By the way, Merry
I
Christmas to you.
am the I am the honorary ooze. That's not
Okay, in
true.
other words, first of all, Trace, I'm the I'm the Paul Heyman here. So in other words, Drew, okay, Tracy is Usi. Tracy is
Yes,
Usi.
you are.
Usi Tracy. Usi Tracy. Drew, tell everybody how to get a hold of you. Trace will be back next week to talk about wrestling, but Drew, go ahead.
OnPointBasketball.com, On Point Basketball on Instagram, Drew Eubanks on Twitter, and also On Point Basketball on TikTok. We are definitely making our moves there. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Great to see y'all.
And Trace, Drew can be a little bit more Usi, right? Come on, Drewsy. How about Drewsy? Come on, next week, Drew, I want you on here to be Drewsy. All
I
right.
have no idea what y'all is talking about. That's okay.
Anthony did have a question since he did not ask. Trace, have you ever played in the Greek League, or are you familiar with Greek basketball?
3 years in the Greek League.
I know this. That's why I'm
2
asking.
years in the Greek.
Oh,
Go
2 years
ahead.
now.
I
Close.
played with Panathinaikos, and I played with Pau. Panathinaikos is the best team in Greece, and then there's playing in the Euro League and the Greek League with the best team. I played with the great teams in
Here's the question,
2004.
Trace. Anthony wants to know: have you learned any Greek?
The guys always teach you the bad words. So I can't say the bad words. They teach you the bad words.
That's true. That's true.
Off air, you'll tell me off air.
Hey, my teammate Mike Batiste just won the Greek Hall of Fame. Greek Basketball Hall of Fame.
Really? Okay, Anthony.
And then my coach for Pau.
Tell Trace how he could be more sports fluent.
At sports_fluent, TikTok, Twitter, IG, or of course, check out all my shows on the Players Choice YouTube network.
All right, and Trace, I'll leave it to you. First of all, I want to, Drew, you're like family to me. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and your family and all that.
Well, to everybody, Merry Christmas.
Anthony, since I'm going into your Greekness, get it? Greekness with potentially a wife who's Greek also. So we're part of family also. All the best to you and your family. And Trace, what do I say? I know you for like 28 years. You haven't changed a bit. I'm so proud to call you a good personal friend. I'll acknowledge you, but I'm still the president of the provinces of Canada, soon to be the mayor-elect of North America. Trace, you get the final word.
Joe, you have to leave. You have to acknowledge, first of all. Last but not least, I all jokes aside, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy holidays, and just be safe, man, because
all right, Trace, next week you're invited on here. I'm going to do my best. Because Drew wants this, to get Brock Lesnar on here and spear your ass. If it's not going to be spearing your ass, it's going to be spearing Drew Eubanks' bald head. All right? So you're invited back here next week, Drew, Anthony, and Trace. Trace, do you accept the challenge of getting speared? I'll acknowledge you if you get speared. Go ahead.
We got to take the mic away from you in the ass, but you might
all right.
take a spear.
All right. Again, Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Thanks a lot to all you guys. Drew Ebanks, onpointbasketball.com. Check it out. One of the leaders here in Canadian basketball, more sports fluent with Anthony Kay, and he's the number one coach, the coach of the year, Trace, the coach of the year, coaching under 10. If it was over 20, he would not be the coach of the year. And of course, tell everybody, Trace, how to get you, Trace, get a hold of you, Trace. All right, that's to get a hold of
Tracy
Tracy Murray,
O'Murray.
real
Coming in
Tracy
now.
Murray.
It's coming in now.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I missed it. You got it, Joe.
Real Tracy Murray. Stay tuned for more great
Wanna go
programming here on the
again?
Firedup Network. And Trace, I'm going to acknowledge you next week when we talk wrestling. Sasha Banks in New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW. Come on. Drew, do you know anything about AEW? No. Anthony, can you spell AEW? No. So, Trace, it's only going to be me and you, all right? I acknowledge you. Acknowledge the whole world. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Be safe. Thanks a lot, guys.